When did you meet Cuban and Pun?
All right, let's start. Pun. Chris. When I first met Chris, aka Pun, let's just say Pun. When I met Pun, Pun was just a street dude. I seen him. I met him through. I used to actually just see him every now and then. He used to hang out at Davidson, which is
What age? What age is this?
This was in our 20s.
20s, okay.
Yeah, we wasn't in like 16, 17, This was in our 20s, or we were already men, you know what I mean? But he used to hang out at Davidson. It was a project. It was a block fucking long project, big shit, with like fucking 20 entrances and exits. You didn't want to go in there because it was crazy. But I met him. He used to hang out, and then the place used to be called the Ranch, and that's where a few of my dudes, rest in peace, White Boy, everybody lived up in there. But that's where Sace lives at. That's where Sace came from. That's where he's from. But that's I used to see Pun all the time through there. And then through affiliation, through people, Pun used to be with them, whatever, hanging with them, and then that's how we became. Oh, what's good, my dude? What's popping, whatever, things like that. When I met him, he was like my size. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was my size. He wasn't overweight. He wasn't nothing like that at all. Remember, I didn't see him for a long time after that. I didn't see him around the block. Didn't see him hanging out. I was like, I forgot about the dude or whatever. And I remember one day.
Months or years?
Couple of years.
Couple of years, wow.
Yeah, it was a while. It was a long time. I think it was about a year or something like that, maybe even over that. A couple of years. But I remember I was in front of my mother's building in the courtyard, the infamous courtyard. I was in front of my mom's building, and the dude rose up in a fucking Taurus. It was a white Taurus. Rolled up, and he gets out the fucking car, and it was him. But this motherfucker was gigantic already. He was fucking huge. He was stupid big. He was like 300 something pounds. I was like, oh shit, what's up, my dude? And we was chilling. We talked for a minute or whatever and shit. And then he broke out. Then I would see him every now and then. And so let's jump to Cuban real quick, and then we'll jump back. Right behind the ranch where Sace lives at, there was like these abandoned buildings. They knocked down the abandoned buildings and they rebuilded these real small, like I would say little small projects. It was like 2-story projects, whole bunch of them. And it was called the Littlevilles. So they used to call it the Little Village or whatever, the Littlevilles. That's where Cuban used to live. That's where Phil Cuban used to live at with his moms, his sisters, pops. That's where they used to live at. I used to see him walking through the block and stuff like that every now and then. Didn't know who he was at all. And Cuban hates when I tell this story. But he also knows that I'm not a capper. I don't like to cap. I just don't lie. But he don't like when I tell this story. So I'm going to tell the story. So
why doesn't he like it?
Huh?
Why doesn't he like it?
You're going to find out. So he used to walk through my block, right? And remember, at this time, I was about that shit. I was a fucking thief. I was about robbing niggas. And he used to walk up and down my block and shit. And he used to have this, what is it? A fucking, them pilot coats back in the days that they were made of sheepskins?
Yep.
It was a pilot coat, the jacket shits that the fur used to be around the arm. So you used to rock one of those. You used to walk through my block all the time. And I was like, oh my God. Like I was really on that shit, like ready, you know what I'm saying? He hates when I tell the story. But I'm being honest. I wanted to rob this nigga. I didn't know who he was. I wanted to rob him. Never did it. One day, Pun came to the block. He was like, yo, I'm going to Suntimes. And Suntimes is this older black man. He used to have a pool hall around the corner from my house. People used to go in there, hang out, shoot pool. He was like, yo, I'm going to Pops, to Suntimes or whatever. I'm like, yeah, I'll go over there. I'll be over there. So I went over there. And when I went there, Phil was there, Cuban was there, Sace, they were all there. Everybody was shooting pool. Went in there and it was like, yo, what's good, whatever. So that's when Pun introduced me to Cuban, to Phil. And that's when we met. Long story short, that's been my brother to today, over 30 years. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he don't like me. He didn't don't like me telling that original story, but it's the fucking truth. But yeah, that's how I met him was through Pun at the pool hall, and then from that day forward, man, we were inseparable, inseparable. And when I mean inseparable, I'm talking about me, Pun at the time. It wasn't Pun, it was Big Moon Dog, and I remember when Pun introduced me to Cuban, he was like, "Yo, this is my man. This is my man. This is Lyrical Assassin." That was his rap name back in the day, is Lyrical Assassin. So he was like, "Yeah, it's Lyrical Assassin." He was like, "And that's my man." I'm like, "I know fucking Sammy." You know what I'm saying? Sace. So from that day forward, we was pretty much inseparable, man. We was always together. Pun made that happen.
But he wasn't going by Sace at that time. He was going by Joker.
Joker Jams. Yeah, but I knew him for all that, but I knew him for Sammy, for not no Joker Jam, no Sam. That was just Sam. You know what I'm saying? He used to come to the projects as far as 23 Park and play softball. He used to always play softball. He used to be in softball leagues all the time and shit like that. So, but Sammy's the block always knew Sammy from jump. From jump. Sammy's never Terror Squad. He's Terror Squad for let me clear that up now, right now too, since we here. Pun, Cuban, Sace is not Terror Squad. All right, let's get that clear. Pun, Cuban, Sace, not Terror Squad. The Terror Squad from the record label, not from the block, not from from where we came up from. They, you know what I'm saying? Even though, we all, after years later, when the connection came between me, Cuban, Sace, and Pun, well, Sace was always there, but me, Cuban, Pun, and Sace, when we started our thing, that's where that family began, which was Full Eclipse. That's where that family began. But I'm the one that made, and let's make this clear, everybody out there that knows this, because Joe always tells his story, which is false. I'm the one, Big Toon, a.k.a. the sick one, the evil Puerto Rican, is the one that bring Pun to the block. I'm the one that made the introduction to Pun to the block, to the family. Me. Not Joe. None of that shit. Not that shit that when he got out the car and, he said, I'm going to snatch the moon out the sky and blow the sun away. Oh, I put him in the car and we left. That didn't happen. It wasn't like that. It was not like that.
So tell the story. How did it happen then?
Well, I got to tell you those Full Eclipse story first.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So I guess this is part 5 or whatever the fuck this is. But this is the Full Eclipse story. Now, I was already rapping. I was already doing my thing, my own little thing. I wasn't doing it to get a deal. I wasn't doing it to get nothing. I used to even run around with a crew that was called the Messengers of Funk. And if you go back in the catalogs, there was a crew that was called MOF, Messengers of Funk. They had a little album out. They had a little hit. Those dudes are the ones that took me in with my style of rapping, because I used to be on that horrorcore shit. And then they the ones I used to rock with all the time. And then my boy Casper, he used to spit back in the days, a white boy, Puerto Rican looking white dude. And I rock with those cats. That's what we used to run with. The introduction, like with Pun and Cuban and everybody, is when I found out that they were spitting. And then I was actually not even in building the whole Full Eclipse thing at the time. At the time, I was like, like I was like on some manager shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so we used to be together so much that we just put the clique together. We was like, you know what I'm saying? That we're going to do this. Let's do this shit together. You know what I mean? And then that's when the whole crew thing became the Full Eclipse thing and everything. I designed and drew the logo for us, the famous cross with the demon coming out of it and then the clips falling out of the cross. I'm the one that drew that. I'm the one that designed it. If anybody still has any memorabilia of that, please hit me up. I'll buy it from you. There should be hockey jerseys and all kind of shit out there. And please hit me up. So that was the introduction of that. Now here we go.
Wait. But didn't you do the logo, or Joe bit the logo for Terror Squad too, right? Kind of like the whole tomb thing that he did.
Yeah, but it's different. It looks different. I mean, I even tattooed that shit on here in memory of Pun. Right here. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little different, but it's still the same. It's more clean. because the one that I did was on some demon shit because we was on demon time at that time. We was like spitting some horrorcore shit. Crazy.